Breaking news straight from Los Angeles. The return of Blake Snell, one of the most anticipated pitchers of the season, has just suffered a new and worrying setback. The two-time Cy Young Award winner, signed by the Dodgers this offseason to a $182 million deal, is still experiencing discomfort in his left shoulder and was unable to pitch over the weekend as originally planned. Now, Snell will be evaluated by renowned specialist Dr. Neil Elatrash, and his return to the mound remains shrouded in uncertainty at a time when the team is already grappling with a rotation devastated by injuries. If this news sounds familiar, it's because it's become a recurring theme behind the scenes in Los Angeles since early April. One of the most valuable arms in Major League Baseball, Snell was introduced as a crown jewel of rotation that already featured Shohei Ohtani, though limited to hitting, and Japanese rookie Roki Sasaki, one of the brightest prospects in global baseball. The expectation was to build an almost unbeatable rotation with enough firepower to dominate the entire National League. But the reality on the field has been quite different, and the dream of seeing Snell healthy seems more distant with each passing day. Before we continue, if you're a fan of MLB behind-the-scenes stories and want to stay on top of the season's most important developments, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll get the most accurate updates, no rumors or sensationalism, along with the historical and strategic context that really matters. This story is far from over, and we'll cover every chapter with you. Blake Snell has worn the Dodgers uniform only twice this season, once against the Tigers and once against the Braves. Despite a 2.00 ERA, the outings raised him playing at a high level, 10 hits and 7 runs allowed in just a few innings. Shortly after the bombshell hit, on April 6, the left-hander was placed on the injured list with inflammation in his left shoulder. Since then, every step of his recovery has become news, because every step seems smaller than it should be. Progress has been slow, and now it's stalled again. During the recent series against the Miami Marlins, there was hope Snell might pitch. The Dodgers scheduled sessions for Friday, then Sunday, but neither happened. According to manager Dave Roberts, Snell was dealing with a mild illness during the series, which delayed his preparation. But the real issue wasn't the flu. It was a shoulder once again flaring up. The result, he couldn't pitch, and his return to the starting rotation has been delayed once more, with no clear timeline. Behind the scenes, there's one word echoing throughout Los Angeles: caution. The Dodgers won't rush anyone back, especially not a player as expensive and vital as Snell. The coaching staff's philosophy is clear: preserve the arms for the most important time of the year, October. And in that scenario, Dr. Neil Elatrash becomes a key figure. The specialist will reevaluate Snell's condition later this week in an attempt to outline a new recovery plan. But fans are left wondering, how long can they wait? The recent timeline makes the level of frustration clear. On April 18th, Snell had his first bullpen session since the initial diagnosis. Hopes were high, but shortly after, he was again unable to throw. An MRI revealed no new structural damage, which was taken as good news. Based on that, the medical staff administered a cortisone shot on April 28th, aiming for a gradual comeback. His return to pitching was scheduled for this past Sunday, but the discomfort persisted. It's a troubling sequence for a player expected to be the anchor of the rotation, and the impact goes beyond Snell's absence. The Dodgers currently have no fewer than 14 pitchers on the injured list, an almost absurd number for a World Series contender. Shohei Ohtani, though healthy at the plate, can't pitch in 2025. And while Roki Sasaki is immensely talented, he's still adjusting to the grueling MLB schedule. This leaves the Dodgers' rotation vulnerable, even if the standings suggest otherwise. Because yes, despite all these absences, Los Angeles still hold the highest winning percentage in the league. A remarkable feat, but one that hides a looming risk. How long can his performance be sustained without its top pitchers? And when October arrives, will Snell be ready to become the hero the team desperately needs? Now, fans walk the line between hope and anxiety. The Dodgers are winning, they're leading, and they have a deep roster. But the hole in the rotation is clear. And Snell, who was supposed to be the solution, has become a question mark. With every week he doesn't pitch, Every medical exam, every delay. The franchise's billion-dollar investment grows more fragile, and the future more uncertain. And what about you? What do you think? Will Snell make it back in time to lead the Dodgers in the postseason? Or has this string of setbacks already compromised the team's entire 2025 strategy? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll unpack this dilemma together. Confirmed news from Los Angeles. The Dodgers have just acquired outfielder Steward Berroa from the Toronto Blue Jays in exchange for cash considerations. At first glance, it's a quiet move, barely registering on the radar of major headlines. But for those who follow the behind the scenes of Major League Baseball, it's clear the Dodgers never make a move without purpose. And this addition raises a key question. What exactly is Los Angeles preparing? At 25 years old, Baroa doesn't come with an intimidating offensive track record. He managed just 7 hits in 28 Major League games last year, all with the Blue Jays. But the bat is still a work in progress. What sets him apart is something else. Speed. And this isn't just a skill, it's his identity as a player. The Dominican outfielder made a name for himself in the minors thanks to his remarkable base-stealing ability. He swiped 48 bases across 2021 and 2022, then 47 more in 2023. Even during his brief MLB stint last season, Baroa stole 6 bases in fewer than 30 games. And this year, despite modest numbers at the plate in AAA Buffalo, he's already stolen 9 bases in 12 attempts. If you're passionate about the inside stories, the ones major outlets overlook, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We'll show you why even the quietest moves can echo deep into October. Exclusive insight, strategy, and behind-the-scenes content, all right here. Baroa was designated for assignment by the Blue Jays on May 7th, and as often happens in MLB, that didn't mean the end. It was just a new door opening. After 7 years in Toronto's development system, having signed as an international free agent at a high level in 2016 represents a short term. Baroa climbed every rung of the ladder. He excelled with his legs. He grew as a defender. But the bat, that's always been challenged. In AAA this year, he's hitting just .195 with a .267 OBP and a .234 slugging percentage. Weak? Yes. But that's where the Dodgers' philosophy kicks in. Los Angeles has built one of the most efficient development systems in the league in recent seasons. What they see in players like Baroa goes beyond cold numbers. They look at tools, context, and, most importantly, strategic fit. When the Dodgers acquired Esteury Ruiz, another speedster from the A's in March, many assumed it was just a depth move. But Ruiz has already stolen 19 bases in 21 attempts for AAA Oklahoma City. Last year, he led the American League with 67 stolen bases. And now, with Baroa joining him, that AAA outfield could become a literal racetrack. Picture it. Ruiz on one side, Baroa on the other. Both capable of changing the game with a single base hit. Both applying pressure to catchers, forcing errors, destabilizing pitchers. If that vision becomes reality, Oklahoma City might have the most explosive outfield in the Pacific Coast League. But this isn't just about speed. It's about internal pressure. Take James Outman, for example. Recently called back up to the big league roster to cover for the injured Teoscar Hernandez. He has just 1 hit in his last 15 plate appearances over 5 games. His performance is under close watch. And for good reason. Outman and Ruiz are 27 and 26 years old, respectively. Baroa is younger, and although he hasn't yet found consistency with the bat, the Dodgers may see in him a development window that others no longer offer. The next few days will be critical. The Dodgers aren't required to add Baroa to the 40-man roster immediately, but that could change as early as Tuesday when the team begins a series against the Oakland Athletics. Until then, they'll monitor closely, evaluate options, and fine-tune the roster. And that strategic waiting game takes on even more weight with the looming return of an icon, Clayton Kershaw. If the veteran is activated by next weekend as planned, the Dodgers will need to clear a roster spot, and every name on that 40-man list becomes a little less secure. In Los Angeles, no piece is placed on the board by accident. Every addition, every low-key trade, every prospect acquisition is part of a greater plan. Baroa's arrival may seem insignificant to those focused only on numbers, but within the Dodger system, he represents another calculated bet on versatility, speed, and adaptability. And that kind of player, when used wisely, can be the difference between predictable offense and a system that suffocates opponents at every turn. Behind the scenes, this move has also caught the attention of scouts across the league. If the Dodgers saw value in Baroa, who else might be flying under the radar right now? They know what they're doing. They know where they're betting. And they know that when October comes, every detail counts. Even that player acquired for cash considerations. So here's the question. Will Steward Berroa be just another expendable piece on the board? Or could he become an unexpected weapon in the most decisive moments of the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. In the coming weeks, we'll bring you the behind the scenes of Kershaw's return, Teoscar Hernandez's role in the lineup overhaul, and the possible roster moves impacting the 40-man. If you like reading the game beyond the lines, this is your place. Until the next play.